Good morning everybody and welcome to this little chat. Well, today before I start talking about my subject, the way this started is the BBC did a programme called Who Do You Think You Are? About different famous people and their history and their ancestry. So that got me interested in my own family tree. So I signed up to Ancestry, did the DNA test and came back with a lot of information. But first, before I get into my story, I'd like to thanks to my cousin Yvonne, who started off the journey, what has gone two ways, and to another lady called Karen, who is a genealogist, who I brought in because there is a bit of mystery about my mum's biological family and the brothers and sisters. So I brought this Karen into helping me, and she has made me, if you can see, this is my folder of if you can see, part of my family tree. Now, for a brief thing on about it, it actually goes back to, it starts off the first generation with me, my parents, my grandparents, and it ended up, to my surprise, going, just as we're trying to get to the final part of it, bear with me, to a 12th generation. I don't know of grandparents, if you can see that, probably not. And that goes back to the 1600s. So it's done from both sides of the family. From my dad's side, that's the Pennies, that's Penny, and the Talbots, and it actually done a piece, if I can show you this, telling you about the history of the name. That's my surname, Penny. And this next page is my mum's history of her surname, Talbot. So, as the story goes, it starts off with my cousin, that's Yvonne, as I'm trying to go through all my bits and bobs of paper and that, what I've collected and done to give me information. She did like a family tree. At the time, we thought it was right. But lo and behold, when I brought in Karen, the genealogist, it threw a lot of it out the window. Because originally it had like two cousins married each other. That, if you can see, I don't know if you can see, that is the part of the Hacketts, what was connected to, supposed to have been connected to my family tree. But because, and that's part of the Ryder family, I'll tell you a bit more. about that in a bit later as we go on. We try and unfold. I've got so much information. That is a detail of part of it, the connection to a certain person called Samuel Talbot, Toy, that's T-O-Y, and he had a portrait of him, which I have got somewhere in this little lot of papers and that, of him with the people. I've even got my mother's adopted papers, copies, not original, because she got adopted, because at the time when she was born, mother passed away just after she was born, a few days after. So, because they already had 3 children, and her father couldn't look after her because her sister was helping look after the children, he had to put my mother up for adoption. Now, originally her name was Lucy Talbot, named after her mother, but when the people who adopted her changed her name, Christian name, to Norma Doughty, and that's probably why, if anybody was looking for my mum, was, couldn't find her because a Christian name was changed. So as we go on with our story, a couple of photos, if you can see that is my father with my cousin Jean. There's another picture of my dad. Jean is my dad's, her mother is my dad's sister, and that's the 3 of us all together. And this one shows Jean and her mother. That's my dad's sister. And this is my great-grandparents. And this was a picture in Spain. They from the Ryder side of the family, not Penny's. Now, this one is my uncle, Bishop. I can't think of his name, but he married my auntie, Thelma Bishop, and there's another picture of Thelma. And this one is the portrait. That is the picture what I was talking about with Samuel Talbot. Samuel Talbot is the chap just there. He's about the 1, 2, 3, 4th man next to the 2 chaps with the hats. So he's must be a great-grandparent and that. So, following on from this is my auntie's wedding. That's my other auntie. In the picture there is my grandma here. That's grandma there. That's Thelma, dad's sister. That's my great-grandma. My uncle, great-uncle. My dad's sister. That's my dad's other sister. And that is another relative. Hold on. If I look at it. Oh. That's my grandma. Great-grandma. I think that's H.A. Wife, I do believe. And that picture doesn't have my dad in it, even though he was at the wedding. Now, this one is my auntie with all her grandchildren. That is my Auntie Margaret, Dad's other sister. As we go along, this is one of my great uncles from the Ryder's side, and this picture is my great grandparents, Caroline Holmes and Henry Albert, I think it's Albert Henry Ryder, I do believe. If I'm wrong, someone will correct it. That's his son. And here is his brother, well known. He was managing director of Morris Motors because he was friends with Morris, and he went on to manage MG Motors before he passed away and fell out. That is the mystery photo. Now, I have done a talk about this photo and about that side of the family. It is on my... this is Uncle Irving and Thelma. That's who is Uncle Irving, my uncle, and my auntie, my dad's sister. And this is another picture of my grandparents from the Ryder's side. You can see it's old, and this is a bit about the home side, if the camera can pick it up. Probably won't be able to with a light and that. And as we go through more papers, excuse me, this is on the war in Birmingham crematorium. So that could be a connection to my mum's family because it's part of the Talbots. Excuse me. These photocopies are the documents of the adoption of my mum, and that is part of it. All the paperwork as we go along, getting into a right model. Now, the Penny family, if I can say, that is to do with the adoption of my mum. Because my mum ended up with a change in. There is a video about where my mum, one of my friends did about my mum talking about her adopted family and how she grew up, and they had a shop in Hawthorne Road, grocery shop and sell grocery, and it was Doughty because her name was Norma Doughty when she got adopted. Now, this young man is me. Very young. Must be one of my school photos. Yes, I think it's from Great Bar because it looks like a Great Bar tie. This next photo, I do believe that might be Thelma, my auntie. I'm not sure about this. These are certain members of my family, cousins and that, grandparents, part of the Penny family. And this, if I can get it right, is the, I don't know if the camera can pick it up, was the original, what we thought was the original, family tree. But as things go, it all went out the window. That's another part of it. Because what happened, we thought that when Yvonne sent it me, she had it as Joseph William Penny married a Mary Penny. So from the work what Karen did, that got thrown out because it wasn't a Penny. It wasn't two cousins. So that went out the window. It was a totally different person. So that part got really, messed, just lost. So it was different people. So that went into a different way. On my mum's side, my mum's grandma, mother, her maiden name is one of the most difficult family name you can ever have. She was a Smith. So by luck, I found a lot about the Smiths, and it did about, in the end, it was about 12, 10, 9 and 11 generations of family. Now, this is my grandma's death certificate, if you can see that. And this is the service for my great-grandparents, Joseph William Henry Penny, and beloved wife, Dorothy Annie Penny. He died, he was only 48 years old. And this picture, the little chap, well, not so little, that is my brother, Martin. He had a massive stroke just after he turned 50, and he ended up in his care home. Now, this one is my parents, my mum and dad. One of many. And there's another one of my dad when they was young. And next one. Now this chap is my brother Martin. Very young. And there he is later in life. And this is a younger picture of Martin with my dad. This next one is when my dad retired from Lucas's, and that was his party. And this cheeky little picture is me and Martin holding a pair of monkeys. Well, 2 monkeys. Later in life for my mum and dad. Another young picture with my grandma, mum and dad. Now, this one is that's my dad, Joseph William Henry Penny, Thelma, who too married a bishop, and Margaret, who married a Newbury. Now, as I was looking through the ancestry and did the DNA, I found this, the Penny crest. I don't know if that's real. That is the death certificate of my granddad, and this is the final picture of my mum before she passed away. Next we have my mother's adopted grandfather, my adopted father. That's his death certificate. These are my, from the Penny side of the family, if you can see the names on it. And this part is showing you a bit about the Holmes part that is on my great-grandparents. And this, I don't know if he is, but with everything going pear-shaped, is like a uncle, I presume. And more prints of the family tree of the penny side. And as you can see on this one, it's got the EY on there, because the name changed over the years. More pictures of my relations as we're going along. If you, this is the wedding certificate of Joseph and Dorothy Ryder. That's my grandparents' wedding certificate. And this is their wedding. You can see my granddad very small next to my grandma. Now this picture, this chap is Martin. When he had his stroke with the Stroke Society. Now here we have my mum and dad in their uniform, because they was members of St John's Ambulance Brigade. Here's another picture of Martin in his wheelchair. And this, I don't know if I've shown you this, this is where originally the tree went to, but because of the Karen's help, because she was a genealogist and her help with the tree and that, it thrown all that out, and that is all gone west. More documents on my mum's adoption and all that, adoption papers and name and information and all that. And the tree has gone in so many directions. With the folder, this folder what has been done for me, it is so, it goes so far back, and the different names, I am still getting to know what it is and trying to get everything on the ancestry right and all the tree put right. And through the DNA I've met, well, last year I got to, well, a few years ago I had some cousins come and stay with me for Christmas, and this Christmas I went and stayed with them. They was from mum and dad's side of the family, and early on in August I went and stayed with a cousin from my mum's side, and I got to meet a load of cousins that I did not know about, because I didn't know much about the Talbots and mum's side of the family, but they made me so welcome. And I got to meet loads of, well, quite a few cousins, and get to know all about them and that, and how the connection. I stayed with them in Buffalo, New York. And I come to the end of my little chat, and I hope you enjoyed this. And if there's anybody who is related or sees this video from the pennies, please get in touch or put a comment, because I like to hear from you. And through my DNA test, I have found that I have got family in Tasmania from my mum's side, and Australia, America, all over the world and that. So I would like to say I hope you enjoyed this little chat about my family tree. And if you're interested in looking up your family tree, I say go for it, because it is amazing what you find and the different things, the doors that it's opened and that, and the people that I've got to meet. I even, a year ago, I mean, must be about 2 years, I even met a cousin from Australia who came over to Birmingham, and I got to meet him, and we got chatting and that. So for now, I hope you enjoyed this little chat about my family tree. And if you like these videos and you like these walks and talks, and you like to subscribe and follow me, there are more adventures and other things to come. So from now, I wish you a safe, well, and happiness. And whenever you watch this video, day, morning, night, I hope you are safe and well. And I wish you a farewell from sunny, well, Birmingham. Goodbye for now.